Hi everyone, it's Angelina from Sparkling Diva, and I have an awful lot of wonderful, exciting news today. I have never recorded a video this early in the morning. I barely gotten dressed, but it was good. I got up earlier than I usually do, and it was good because the mailman was very early too, and he delivered my new cards. Yay! I'm so happy. I'm totally excited. This is my new Chakra Insight Oracle cards, and I've been waiting for them to arrive for a week. They had to come from the UK, and finally they are there. And had I gotten up my usual time, then I would have missed the mailman, and I still wouldn't have gotten my cards. So I'm so excited. I really want to do a reading with them. I will do that in a minute, but first of all, I have more exciting news because Sparkling Diva is all about helping other women get empowered. And I've been working on that, on setting that up. I'm doing workshops and webinars and training sessions for women to help them, really tap into the feminine energies. With self-love, developing more self-esteem, self-confidence, how you can manifest, how you can express yourself as a feminine, how you communicate who you are in a feminine way, getting rid of masks and judgment, and I also will touch upon sensuality and sexuality, and it's so wonderful. And I've been working on setting that up for months now. The entire thing isn't quite ready yet, but I have a very nice offer for the ladies who are interested in this kind of work, who are ready for that, to do the work themselves, to tap into their feminine energies, to grow in that way. I have a free 5-day challenge coming up, starting on April 30th, which is a Monday. It will be 5 days, so the last day will be on the Friday. It's free. It's online, completely online, so anyone can follow it, regardless of where you're living. It doesn't really matter. You will get, how it works is that you will get an exercise every day online with a video. I will record a video, you will see me as well, and then I will explain what we're going to do that day, what the exercise is. Then you have to do that exercise. It's an exercise where you have to do soul searching, right? Where you have to start thinking about things, you have to start deep diving and write that down, and then you can share your findings in a closed Facebook group, which I set up specifically for this training, for this 5-day training session, which is called Forever Feminine, by the way. And the next day you will get another exercise, and so an assignment. Let's not call it exercises. That's more like you have to go jogging or something. That's not like that. More an assignment. Let's call it an assignment. You get one every day for 5 days on end, and that will give you enough to get you going. We will look into how you see yourself, how you perceive yourself as a woman, because that's very important to know if you want to change things, or then you first have to know how you see and feel about yourself as a woman, and then you have something to build on, to then you have clarity. And we will also do a real deep dive and find out why you see and feel that way about yourself as a woman. There will be assignments about learning to receive, which is something that we feel we do, but often we can't. It's very scary for most people to receive. We are very good at giving, but receiving is another thing completely. But there will be more. Of course, in 5 days, I cannot cover all aspects. I cannot cover the entire range of what there is that, I do offer that as well, but that will be later on, and that's not going to be free because that's going to be, well, it's work for me as well, right? A lot of time and work for me as well, so I want an exchange for that. But if after these 5 days you want to sign up for that, you can, of course, and then you will also, if you've done this free challenge, you will also get a discount. The full workshop is also going to be online, is the same setup. Assignments online in a closed Facebook group with other women, of course, right? It's a group. That will be about 4 weeks, but it's not non-stop 4 weeks. I will give you a break in between. The weekends are always off, so then you have time to catch up on your assignments during the weekends, or to just enjoy your weekend. Right? It should be fun after all. It's not like a mandatory thing. It should be fun, learning and growing and expanding, and it should be fun. Otherwise it's not going to stick either. What I do ask in return for the ladies, if you want to sign up for this free challenge, for the Forever Feminine 5-day challenge, I do ask that you really want that. You really want to grow as a woman, develop as a woman. You're really wanting to do the work on yourself and on personal growth. Because I do offer support during these 5 days, but it is not one-on-one coaching. So if you need one-on-one coaching, this is not the thing for you. This is really for the women, for ladies who are able, ready and willing to do the work themselves. I will support you here and there, but it's not one-on-one coaching. I don't offer that either. So you will have to do the work, which is after all the only way it will stick. So yeah, that was for starters. If you're interested in that, then please follow the link to my website to read more about it. So you get more information. You can also sign up there using the contact form. You cannot sign up via YouTube by sending me an email. You really have to sign up via my website, because there's a disclaimer in there as well, and I do want that checked before you can enter this free 5-day challenge. So yeah, that's about the first thing I have to offer. And then of course I want to do a reading with my new card deck, because I'm so excited about it. I have 6 cards, and the reading is going to be on what you must do, develop, learn to be able to get love, attract love into your life. And that's not going to be about, like, I don't know, comb your hair and go out to whatever and you will meet a guy. No, this is, I'm always a bit deeper than that. I'm really always about personal growth and development. So it could be that the message you get is yeah, most of them will actually be focusing on that, right? It's chakra cards, and so it's for instance, if you don't have enough self-esteem, it's going to be difficult to attract love, because you don't have self-esteem and you don't value yourself enough, and you radiate that out as well, and then it's difficult. That affects how difficult or easy it is for you to attract love, but then you likely will also attract partners that aren't really right for you, who will also make you feel as if you don't have enough self-esteem, as if you're not worthy, because that's what you exude, because that's how you feel about yourself. So this is about that. What can you do, develop to change that? So there's 6 cards, and I'm gonna stick with to 1 card per set as well. You know, there's a lot of information. They really are wonderful, and they trigger me so beautifully. I'm already nuts about this deck. So 6, this is an amethyst, this is 1. It's number 2, this is quartz, a yellowy quartz. I haven't a clue why or what it is. It's just, it came with a bunch of other crystals at some point, a yellowy quartz. This is an ocean jasper, a rough chunk of ocean jasper with blue and of polychrome. Sorry, it's not ocean jasper, it's polychrome jasper. Sorry about that. And we have numbers 3. Number 4 is a rough green aventurine. Number 5 is the black obsidian little cat. And number 6 is the carnelian heart. So please make your choice, and I'm going to start the video. It looks like it's going to be a long one because of all my information and all my talking. But I'm so excited, I can't wait to get going. I'm going to grab another cup of coffee first, and then we get started with the reading. I hope you've been able to make a choice. If not, then please pause the video because I'd like to start the reading. So I'm going to move the crystals out of the way as well. Put the card there. And right, for the numbers 1 who chose the amethyst, beautiful amethyst. For the numbers 1, we have a creativity. It's the throat chakra, because it's the blue chakra. Imagination. There's, by the way, there is 6 different cards per chakra, so there's also 6 different throat chakra cards, and each card addresses a different aspect of that chakra, because of course there's an awful lot to each chakra. It's not just the one thing. And you've got the creativity, which is about imagination, expression, originality and passion. Become an active steward for the creative inspiration that is ready to come through you. And the message with this card is, I'm not going to read that out to you, I'm going to tell you about it myself in a minute, but a part of it is so wonderful. I want to read that bit out, just a small part. The Latin word for creation is creare, which means cause to exist, suggesting that when we open ourselves to the creative energy within, we are quite literally bringing new life into the world. This is one of our greatest gifts and responsibilities in life. And that is really true. If you think about it, if you create something, if you are creative, and that's not necessarily about painting or writing, just, you know, if you do that from within, with passion, you really bring something new into the world. But what this card is really wanting to say, especially considering the question, what you must do or should do, can do, in order to attract love more easily into your life, is that it doesn't matter what it is you want to do, whether it's painting, writing, poetry, dancing, making music, baking cookies, growing a garden, starting a business, whatever it is. The only thing that limits that is what you want to create or can create is what is the limits you impose upon yourself, or what you allow other people to impose upon you. And if you do that, if you start doing that, either do it yourself, because often that's because you are insecure or whatever, for you fear other people's judgment, criticism of what you have created. So you're not really have the confidence, the trust that whatever it is that you created is good because it's your creation. Then you really limit yourself. Then you can't express yourself freely, and that is something that is important if you chose the number 1 for you to learn to do. So it's basically a way to let go, to learn to express yourself freely. And also, I would suggest, because of something that I thought of myself. I am a painter. I play drums. I have played guitar. I'm a writer, a published author, actually. And I'm really just a very creative person in general. Also, when I do my garden, if you look at my garden, it's just I got fairy doors and a fairy garden. I got a Japanese garden with a Kuan Yin and a Buddha, and I actually have a huge Yin Yang symbol in my garden. It's about 3 meters diameter. I have a spiral of Archimedes. I'm not sure how you say that in English. Made that myself. It's also 4 meters diameter. You can walk that as if it's a labyrinth, so to speak, a journey within. Things actually do happen energetically when you walk that spiral. And I have gnomes, garden gnomes, and it's just I always like to be creative. The thing is, when I first started painting, and I'm telling you this because this is part of the message for you. I'm not telling you just because I want to share my life story or something. There is a reason for it, so bear with it, please. When I first started painting, was 2009, I believe. I was afraid to express my own authentic, real self on canvas. So what I did, I felt like I don't know enough. I don't know how this works, how I should do it. I haven't got techniques, and oh my God, all of a sudden I had that blank canvas, and I had the freedom to fill that any which way I wanted, and I couldn't. I just couldn't set myself free to just do it. And then I started following Bob Ross's painting lessons, the TV painter. I happened to stumble upon him online, and I did a lot of his lessons, and I did a lot of his paintings as well, of course, landscapes. Learned an awful lot from it, made gorgeous paintings, absolutely wonderful paintings, but they were still not really expressing me, because I was imitating someone else. And why did I do that? Because I didn't trust that I could do it myself. I didn't trust myself that I could paint my own forest or my own waterfall or whatever. I had to follow an example. And in a way, that is a bit the story of my life with many things. It has been that way with a great many things, because I was insecure. I lacked the confidence, and that's because I've been bullied in the past for years on end at school, blah, 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 blah. Long story, not going to tell all that. But then you have these limits that you allow other people to impose upon you. I did that, but I also allow that to happen. I allowed that to happen. And it wasn't until 2016 where that all of a sudden changed when it came to the painting. I have met a great love, and that, like Abraham Hicks says, if you meet someone you love and there is this click, you fall in love. But actually what happens when you fall in love, you get into instant alignment with your own higher self, with your own true being. That's why you feel so great when you fall in love, because all of a sudden you're in alignment with who you really are. And that happened to me. It broke my heart wide open, and all of a sudden I felt inspired, and I wanted to paint, but not the landscape things that I'd done for years on end. All of a sudden I felt something completely different come up, something I'd never done before. It included people, nudity, not pornographic nudity. There was a reason for it, to express vulnerability through the nakedness of these characters on the canvas. All of a sudden, I broke through that barrier because of that love. And then, if you can do that, then you are so amazingly attractive, because then you start expressing yourself from the inside out, the real you, the authentic real you, without fearing judgment. I didn't fear judgment. I didn't even think about judgment. I didn't give a shit about it. to be honest, I felt that inspiration come up. It was from my core, from my soul, and it just had to come out. I wanted it to come out, and it was just wonderful. And I didn't care at all what anyone else would think about it. And you know what? Everyone loved it. Everyone loved it. And that's what this card is about. Breaking through these barriers inside that keep you from expressing the real authentic you. And if you do that, if you do express yourself, the real you, whatever way, it doesn't have to be with painting, just be you, then you are so attractive. Because then you're inspired, then you're real, then you are original, you have passion, you basically, you beam, you shine, you radiate. And that's what this card is about. That's what you should get, try to do. Not do, it's not something you do, it's something you become, it's something you are, it's something you embody. Yeah, and that's important if you chose one to get love into your life more easily. The right partners, right? Not just love, because sometimes it's quite easy to find someone who loves us, but then they're not the right one for us. They're not the right match. But this will help you to attract the right person for you. If you can do this, if you can break through that. So that means that you have to let go of fears, basically. Thinking that whatever it is that you do, are, or have isn't good enough. Fear of judgment, criticism from other people, because that is related to the throat chakra as well. Criticism, fear of that, fear of judgment. Maybe you are too judgmental of yourself. Let go of that. It's all to do with self-love, by the way. If you have a lot of judgment or fear judgment, that is about lack of self-love. And when you lack self-love, you also cannot express your true creativity, your true authenticity. So that was a very lengthy message, but I hope it was really helpful. And this is also the real me, by the way. So yeah, if it got lengthy, I can't help it. That's me. I hope that resonates. If it does, yeah, please let me know. Also, if it doesn't, then I also like to know, because then I will learn. Also, we'll learn about this deck. And right. So thank you for watching, and then I'm going to move on to the numbers 2. So the card for the numbers 2, the ones who chose the yellowy quartz. Is action. It's a root chakra card. Movement, perseverance, discipline, motivation. Again, every chakra, each chakra has 6 cards in this deck, and each card is about a different aspect of that chakra, because there's a lot to each chakra, right? It's not just the one thing, a lot of different aspects to it, and each card touches upon that, a different aspect. This is about listen to the call of your inner rhythms and take bold action in the direction of your dreams today. Basically, the message of this card is that we often have so many different pressures and roles to play in society, and often our actions are inconsistent and not aligned with our dreams and our goals anymore, because we get pressured by society, by what's expected of us to do. And then you end up standing at the edge of your dreams, and then overwhelmed by uncertainty of how to begin. And then often you don't do anything at all anymore, because you don't know where to begin, you don't know where it's going to lead, you don't know what steps to take exactly. And this card is here to remind you that you do not need to see the entire path ahead. All you have to do is clarify your intentions, and you have to feel the rhythm of your calling, like the dancer, and just begin. Take the first step in faith, knowing that the universe will align to support you. Consider an area of your life that you are ready to change or transform. Ask yourself what physical action you can take today, perhaps in the next 10 minutes, to assist in bringing about this goal. And when the answer comes, then follow it. It's about not getting overwhelmed by the end result or the details in between. It's about just beginning. And once you start, you will find new energy, and that will come up and help you to take the next steps, and it will inspire you to take that next step and to do whatever is needed to do next. And then as you take one step and then another and another and another, you will begin to build momentum, and then it will start to flow. Then it will go. And it will be gradual maybe at first, but soon you are rolling and can guide your energy in any desired direction. That's the law of attraction, basically. As soon as you get going, as soon as you tap into what it is you want, and you start to do that, and you get inspired, and you take the next step, and you get even more inspired and more joyful, and you take that next step, and you feel so good, and you take another step, and then law of attraction will kick in, and it will help you out, and it will bring you the right people at the right time, the right situations, the right opportunities at the right time. The thing is, if you don't take that first step, it will never happen. So you have to really have faith and really trust that it is safe to take that first step, to not stand at the edge of the dance floor and to just stall and postpone and in fear and not trusting, and oh my God, I don't know where to begin, I don't know what to do, and oh, what steps do I take? Just get onto that dance floor. Like this dancer, she's just dancing, inspired, passionately. She's following her own rhythm that comes from the inside, and she's not worried about and not thinking. She's not planning really. She's not thinking like, oh my God, do I have to sway my hips to the left or to the right? Should I circle them around? Should I turn and swirl on the dance floor now? Do I lift my arms or not? Should I wait a bit longer? She's not doing that. She just feels the drive, her dream, from the inside out. And she's just dancing, trusting that whatever she's doing is going to be right. And that's what this card is telling you. You shouldn't stall and wait, feel overwhelmed because you do not know exactly what you have to do, and I don't know where to begin, and oh my God, should I do this, should I do that? No, stop that, let go of that, take a step and trust, and don't postpone your dreams anymore. And if you do that, if you just do take that first step, then you will get into alignment with what you want, what you like, what inspires you, what makes you happy. And basically that's what you have to do if you chose number 2, to get to attracting love into your life. Maybe you are indeed waiting too much, afraid to make a move, afraid to go out there, to be seen, to do your thing, and just stalling. Or maybe you've just lost your way because of what is expected of you by other people, by society, by, what the card says is that so many different pressures and roles to play, and also it speaks of actions, our actions often being inconsistent, postponed, and not aligned with our goals. So maybe you are inconsistent as well when it comes to finding love. Maybe you try all kinds of different things and give up too soon, prematurely. You don't give it a chance to actually grow into something you want. So make sure that you're consistent. And in order for that to be consistent, you have to know what your dream is. You know, like for instance, if you want love, if you want a relationship, and one day you really want that, and you know that you want that, and you take action to get the relationship, you go on a dating site, you go out and you make an effort to, you know, to meet someone, to put yourself out there, and then the next day you're like, yeah, well, am I actually really ready for a relationship? I don't know. The last one didn't work out, yeah, or maybe I'm not good enough. How do I do this? I don't know. How does it all work? I'm not sure. So then you withdraw. And then maybe you sit in that withdrawal energy for a week, I don't know, and then maybe you get inspired again. Then you start thinking, well, okay, I do want love, I don't want to be alone. Then you take action again. Then you do something again. Maybe you go out. Maybe you go on another dating site, and you know that's inconsistent. You have to be consistent. In order to be consistent, you also have to know what your dream is, and just go for that. Just take a step and trust that there will be guidance, that it is safe, and that you do not need to know the entire path. Right? And that's what's important if you chose to, number 2, to change, to work on, persevere. Stay with the momentum, right? That's what I said just now as well. It's really law of attraction. Abraham Hicks says that as well. As soon as you get inspired, you only need to hold on to that inspiration for 17 seconds. If you, in these 17 seconds, add to that inspiration, you will go up in energy, in vibration. The inspiration will increase. If you then hold on to that higher inspiration for another 17 seconds, it will go up again. And in the end, you will soar. And you can do this within minutes. But that is holding on to the momentum. That momentum is lost. The minute you start thinking, nah, I can't do that. Nah, that's not for me. Then, boom, in one go, in one split second, it's gone. It's lost completely. Then you've lost the momentum. So you have to persevere. Consistent action will carry you swiftly towards your goals. When our actions stem from a sense of inner knowing, like a dancer moving to the pulse of an inner rhythm, our steps will always be guided and true. Don't wait for things to happen. Start dancing and the music will rise to meet you. It was a beautiful message. I hope that resonates for you, and I hope that it will help you, and it brings you some empowerment and insight. And please let me know in the feedback. Feel free to share and to like. I would really appreciate that. If you're interested in the free, Forever Feminine, please follow the link and sign up for it. And then I'm gonna thank you for watching, and I will move on to the numbers 3. Numbers 3, we're going to move to the people who chose the polychrome jasper. Yes, that's it. We have a solar plexus, sacred chakra card. Relationships. For each chakra there are 6 cards in this deck, and each card addresses a different aspect of a chakra, because there are many layers and aspects concerning a chakra. So that's what I liked this deck. That's why I wanted it so much, because it can really be so helpful and give so much in-depth information, you know, on when there's a card for all these different aspects. This card, relationships, is intimacy, freedom, acceptance and trust. Honor the beauty and the sacred in your relationships. And it's basically about being able to relate with other people, and also lovers then of course, in a healthy way, so without clinging and or pulling, but just loosely clasped, gently interwoven, like the hands. They're holding hands, but they're loose. And a healthy relationship, there is intimacy, but there's also freedom. Right? You don't cling, you don't pull, there's no neediness, there's acceptance of the other and trust. But the acceptance is very important, because oftentimes people end up in a relationship and then they try to change that relationship. Like Abraham Hicks once said in one of his clips, and it is so true. It is funny, that's why I'm laughing, but it really is very true. People always say, think or feel like, you are perfect for me, if only you would change, then you'd be the perfect partner. Well, isn't that insane? Because if someone needs to change in order to be right for us, then they are not right for us. But and that's what happens a lot in relationships, that we fall in love, but then there are parts of that person that we do not really like so much, or that don't suit us or trigger us, and then we go and try to change that person when it comes to that aspect. Well, that's not really nice. That doesn't feel nice. So a healthy relationship, you don't do that. You really accept them the way they are, and if you cannot live with that, then you're not right for each other. And that's basically what this card is about. It's about accepting the other, but also an invitation to look at your relationships, to see how the giving and receiving is in the relationship, each relationship. Because if you want a healthy relationship with a partner, with a lover, you also need to be able to have a healthy relationship with other people. If you cannot have healthy relationship, I'm gonna put it around. If you cannot have healthy relationships with people in general, you typically are also not really able or ready yet to have a healthy exchange with a lover, because you have the same tendencies and things in every relationship. It will only get emphasized in a love relationship, because that person means more to you than a friend, for instance, or a distant relative or an acquaintance. Everything gets highlighted in a love relationship. So look at every relationship, not just how you are in a love relationship. That's the message of this card. Consider the balance of energy exchanged, the emotional wants and needs that each relationship gives and receives from you. So not just what you get, but also what you give to these relationships, and what that as well. It speaks of it that it's a good time to expand your respect for yourself and those with whom you share relationships. Look for the things that are great about your relationships and why you love the people you love. Why? Explore your level of giving and your willingness to receive. Who do you hold back energy from, and who do you perhaps overgive to in compensation for some insecurity or fear of loss? It is time to honor the beauty and the sacred in your relationships. Acknowledge your own needs and wants, and honor the needs of other people. Look for the hidden gifts in each other. Accept each person for who they are without trying to change or control them. And empower yourself with people who inspire you. That is so important. And also inspire people you are with, where it's an exchange, it's relating. And it goes for a love relationship, but also just every relationship. And life is relationships, it says here. That's wonderful. Support each other to grow and shine. So in that sense, I feel the overall message of this card is that you really should look at your relationships. Also, of course, look at love relationships you have had and possibly are in. Look at how these go concerning giving and taking, receiving. Are you overgiving? Are you controlling? And you know, look at it. Honestly, look at it. And because I think if you choose this, that there will be an imbalance in that, and that will not help you to get this wonderful, healthy, loving, open relationship that we are all looking for. And yeah, I think that everything I said so far is basically what it comes down to. Just really look at how you are as a partner, as a friend, as a, you know, in when it comes to relating, and just find out why you do the things you do. Are you overgiving out of fear, insecurity, or are you not giving enough? Okay, are you unable to receive? Just look at it, really look at it, and if you come across patterns, then try to just then work on these things. You know, like if you have low self-esteem, then start doing things to build self-esteem, start loving yourself more, and then you will start attracting healthier, better relationships. And yeah, I think that's mostly the message of this card for most of you. You know, if a relationship is not holding on, not clinging or latching onto someone, it's like really like these hands, is loosely holding hands and enjoying that, knowing the other is not going to pull back, he's not going to just run away, he's going to stay because they want to be with you, they love you. There's this beautiful message in here with the card story about the hands. Let me find it. A fragile holding hands, right? A fragile first step of intimacy, or the gentle returning of a lifelong union. There is something magical about holding hands, a simple, wordless moment, lighting a circuit of energy from one heart and body to another. An invitation to look into each other's eyes, or to turn together and face the world through a shared view. Not clinging or pulling, but loosely clasped, gently interwoven, each individual celebrated within a greater whole. Relationships. I think that's beautiful to end this this message with. So I hope that resonates, and please leave me some feedback. And yeah, by all means, do look at this, you know, what I just said, to find patterns or how you are in relationships, because that will help you to attract love into your life if you improve that, work on that. So if you're interested and willing to do some work, don't really know how to go about it, I again invite you to partake in my Forever Feminine 5-day challenge online for free. The links will be underneath in the description, and oh, maybe I will see you there or in another reading. Thank you for watching, and yeah, moving on to number 3 then. I made a mistake, it's number 4 of course. Now moving on to number 4. Then we move to the Green Aventurine, and we have another sacral chakra card, sexuality. Again, if you haven't listened to everything, for each chakra there are 6 cards in this deck, and every card touches upon a different aspect of that chakra, because chakras are multi-layered and they have an awful lot of different aspects to them. So that's why I liked this deck, wanted to have this deck, because it then gives more specific information per chakra, as opposed to having a deck where there is a chakra card that just says sacral chakra. It's very general. This is far more specific, and that's why what I love about it so much. Sexuality, openness, sharing, beauty and honor. Embrace the creative fire of your being. Honor the sacred power, openness and beauty of genuine sensual connection. This card is basically about becoming comfortable with your physical form, with your body, with the unique essence of your body, who you are, and uh, the way you use that to express yourself, and the way you dress, your fragrance, your body language. Um, it speaks of expanding your daily expression of your inner fire and sexuality. And then first you have to understand sexuality is not about lust. That's what a lot of people think. A lot of people have been taught that as well, right? That sexuality is not, you mustn't go there, you can't enjoy that, and etc. etc. But sexuality is actually sexual energy, and sexuality is a sacred, creative life force, not just in union with another, but also in your life. And many people don't get that because, again, we have been raised often centuries on end, different lives. Yeah, I do believe in reincarnation. If you don't, well, okay, that's to each their own, right? But we've been raised that way, and so that got in our system, and actually that damaged our sacral chakras, because it's sexual energy is so strong, so powerful, and it's sacred. It's a life force because we have sexual energy and sex drives. We can create new life. The spark of new life is created through our sexual energy. Isn't that sacred? That's divine, creating new life. And at the same time, we have been, or not everyone, but many have been raised this life still, but most of us, at least in past life, have been raised to believe that sexuality is bad, sinful. You shouldn't enjoy that, and especially women were not allowed to enjoy it. You just had to open up and receive the man to, to create that new life. But you were not allowed to enjoy it. And it meant that created so much damage on our sacral chakras. And our sacral chakras are all about sharing emotions, relating, expressing yourself, not just sexually, but it's also about your creativity. Like, for instance, painting, writing music, anything creative that you can think of. That's all to do with the sacral chakra. So if there's damage, then all the other aspects that are to do with the sacral chakra are also damaged and blocked. So also the way you can deal with emotions, the way you are in the relationships, the way you relate, because it's damaged. It's so important. Every aspect of a chakra has to be healed and balanced in order for that chakra to function properly. And if one aspect is damaged, is blocked, the other aspects and areas of that chakra will also be damaged and blocked because of that. If one cog doesn't turn in a machine, the rest of the machine can't function properly either. So in a way it's just so we were told for a long time, made to believe that it's bad to be sexual, and at the same time these same people told us to go forth and create new life. But then after you'd done that, you had to go to church, to confession, because it was sinful that you'd done that. Yet they tell you to do it, and then they tell you it's wrong. Well, it's logical that creates a rupture, a blockage, damage. They tell you to do something. The people you trusted, that you should be able to rely on, they told you to do it, and at the same time they told you it was wrong. Well, you know, and many still have been raised that way. And I'm not telling you, please don't get me wrong, I'm not telling anyone that you should just go out and about and just have sex with just about everyone and you know, that's not what sexuality and sexual energy is about. That is actually what came to be because of these contradicting messages that we've been getting for such a long time. Then you cannot suppress that. People were basically forced to suppress their sacred sexual side, the sacred creative life force. We were forced to suppress that because we were told it was wrong. And then you cannot suppress that. It's like having to suppress your survival instinct. That's another primal instinct. You cannot suppress that either. If you have to suppress that, it will come out in another way. Because you can't suppress primal instincts, things that are part of us. So then it will come somewhere out another way, and often then it comes out the wrong way or a less pleasant way, and that's how, when you get well, the sexuality that is frowned upon. That, you know, that's not sacred. That's not sacred sexuality. It's also not what this card is about. This card is really about coming to understand that, coming to see that, and also, coming to feel comfortable with your sexuality, being a sexual being, and with your body, with your physical body, and how you express yourself as this sexual being. And I'm not talking about going out in short skirts, high heels, and you know, like that. That's not what this is about. But when you are a woman, there's nothing wrong with you expressing your femininity by the way you move, by the way you dress, by the way you communicate, by the way, you know, your body language, everything. You are a woman. And that goes for men as well. If you are a man, why should you have to suppress being a man? That's what happened to a lot of people, you know. It's okay to show by who you are that you're a man or a woman. Just a self-expression that's being authentic, that's being at ease with who you are, with your body. You know, when you tap into your feminine energy, you literally start to move differently. You walk differently. You start to talk differently. Everything, your aura, it all changes. And then there's nothing sexual about that. But you are tapping into your sacred feminine energy. And that has to do with the sacred sexual energy. So it's not always, this is not per se being sexual and having sex, and so don't get that wrong. So if you got this message, this the fourth card, if you chose that, that's what the message is basically. Become more comfortable with you as a woman, become more comfortable as you as a man, and feel at ease with that. With your body as well. Accept your body. That's also a message of this card. And who you are. Because your body is who you are. We cannot express ourselves any better than through our bodies. The way we move, the way we walk, says so much about how we feel about ourselves. You know, just check that for yourself. You can do that. We all do that anyway, automatically. If you are out in the street or in a pub or in a shop or whatever, you can tell by the way someone is standing, is moving, or the way they look at you when you ask them something or tell them something. You can tell by their body language how they feel about themselves. You can tell whether someone is confident, whether they feel sexual, whether they are insecure, whether they are in pain, etc., etc. So it is so important. Also, of course, when you want to attract love, when you want to attract this right, wonderful partner, the way you carry yourself, the way which is the way you express yourself with your body, tells someone else without words how you feel about yourself. So if you are not comfortable in your body as a woman or as a man, it shows. It shows. So it's so important, if you want to attract love, the right love, that you learn to love yourself, love your body. And that includes the sexual part, the sensuality, the sexuality. Right, and that is your message. I hope you understand, because I'm not telling you that you have to go out and just have sex with everyone. That's not what sacred sexuality is about. Not at all. Not at all. What it says as well, expressing your sexual essence can be innocent and intense, playful and fulfilling, joyfully creative and deeply sacred. Honor the sacred power of your sexual energy in life. And if you can get there to that place, and if you then come together with a partner, and if you then have sex, if you then are intimate with that person and they are like that as well, that is utter bliss. Then your auras will blend, and then you can experience what sacred sexuality is like, what that is about. And that's not about just having a few minutes of fun and that's it. Absolutely not. But I'm not gonna, I could explain that further, but I'm not going to, because the video is gonna be another hour. I hope this resonates with you. Please let me know. And if it upsets you, please just really try to understand the message that I'm giving here. Again, this is not about going out and about and having sex with everyone. That's not what I'm telling you at all. Right, so please let me know, and if it resonated with you. And I will see you again in another reading maybe, and I'm wishing you a wonderful day. Moving on to number 5. Right, and we go to number the numbers 5, the people who chose the black obsidian little cat. And you have another sacral chakra card, which is quite logical, because the sacral chakra is all about relating emotions and feminine energy as well. It's about movement, spontaneity, expressing yourself, and many people have blocks on the sacral chakra that are affecting their relationships, and thus also how they are able or unable to attract love and the right partners. Or the wrong partners, right? Well, we have desires as goals, passions, cravings and fulfillment. Journey beneath surface wants to the depth of your soul's true desire. There are no limits to what you can achieve. Basically, this card is speaking of that is what you have to do. You have to find out what your real true desires are, and your passions in life, what makes you passionate in life, what makes you excited, what makes you laugh. And it invites you to think of a time when you were truly happy and content or excited or inspired to live more fully. And what was going on then that triggered that, you know, your soul's desire. This is about what you really, really want in life, from life. And not about the small desires and simple pleasures in life, because they can also be satisfying. But then that's still on a superficial level. That's not what you really, really want. That's not your deepest desires. That's what this card is about getting back to the core inspiration of your spirit, your real deepest desires, doing and manifesting and stepping towards what you really want. What you really want, the calling that you can feel from your soul if you tap into that. If you go, that's why these questions were there, you know, like think of a time when you had that feeling, and look at what was going on then, what elements came together to fulfill your soul's desire then, because that's what you have to get back. Um, and also says that we always get what we ask for, but we just don't always ask for what we truly, really want. And that now is the time to find what really makes you happy and joyous, and not just what other people expect of you, or what you have been conditioned to think that will fulfill you, but what you really want. And look, then also you have to look at what currently is in your life. And you have to then, if you see these things that are in your life right now and it's not to your liking, which often happens, then see that as an expression of what you have asked for in the past. Because this is law of attraction, you know, and what it said, we always get what we ask for. And that's not literally what we ask for, it's our energy. Our energy asks for things. So if you're negative, you ask for negative things without realizing it often. And then you attract negative things. So if you look at things in your life and you notice that there's a lot of negativity, which can take many forms, right? Negativity is fear, is anger, is whatever. It's just, it's not anything, can be anything. Anything that doesn't make you happy is basically negative. So it's a broad thing. If you see things right now in your life that are not fulfilling you, that don't make you happy, then these are an expression of what you have asked for in the past, because you always get what you want. So look at it. Does it make you happy, or does it just feed a superficial gratification? It really is time to walk in the direction of your true desire, and if you start exuding that, you will also start attracting that. And think about, if you could do, be, have, and create anything this lifetime, what would that be? And then also realize that you do not have to see the entire path just yet. It's, you know, as long as you have that dream, as long as you have that goal, know what you want, know what you really desire, then just have faith and take that first step, and the rest will reveal itself along the way. And absolutely anything and everything is possible and achievable if your heart is the driving force behind it. So I feel if you chose this, that you have lost that a bit, that you maybe have lost track of what it is that you really want, and then maybe you take that you accept the more superficial stuff that you get, and you know, feel that is okay, and yeah, you know, small desires, simple pleasures, but that's only superficial. That doesn't fulfill your deepest desire. So know that you can have that too. You can have that fulfilled. There's nothing that can stop you from having what you really want, as long as you really want it and know what it is you want, and then just take the first step. I think you kind of lost, if you chose number 5, that you kind of lost your way, and maybe feel that you have to just make do with what you get and what you're given, and that's just it, and it's not for you. The real wonderful glorious stuff is not for you. You just have to make do with this. This is the best you're gonna get. Well, that's not true. But if you believe that, you will make it your truth. You will make that come to be, because you get what you ask for. And again, asking for something is not verbally, vocally saying it. Asking, you know, you can say you're happy, but if you don't feel happy, you still, the universe is going to react to your energy, to the not happy energy, and bring you more of not happy stuff. It's not listening to what you're saying. If that was the case, it would be really, really easy. You know, then we could just say, like, oh, I'm ready for love, right? And then the universe would bring you love. It doesn't work that way unless you feel that you are really ready for love. The universe gives you what you energetically ask for, energetically, right? And I feel that you have kind of, either you stop believing that you could have that, or you just simply lost sight of what your true deepest desires are. And that is what is blocking love, this wonderful glorious love, from coming in. Because if you make do with what is being offered and it doesn't really make you happy, well, if you're not happy, then you're not going to attract really happy people, the really right people. You keep attracting, likely you keep attracting the wrong partners for you. Maybe assholes or bitches or, you know, manipulative people, players, whatever, you know, the wrong person for you. So that's what you have to work on. Tap into what it is you really want. Start thinking what make you really happy, and start doing that again. And often you can go back into childhood. If you can't think of anything from the top of your head, go back to childhood and see what made you happy when you were a child. What made you happy? And, you know, start doing that again. Start tapping into that energy or whatever it was that you did back then that made you happy, and that will make you far more attractive and, if nothing else, a lot happier too. And just know that you do not ever have to make do with anything. You do not have to settle for less. It can happen for you as well. Life is about being happy, fulfilling your dreams and having your desires fulfilled, your passions, your goals. So that is your message. I hope that resonates. Please let me know, and like the video, share if you like it, and I hope to see you again soon, and thank you for watching. And then I'm moving on to the numbers 6, the last card. So the last card, the people that chose the Carnelian heart, numbers 6, we have honesty. It's a throat chakra card, and honesty, truth, transparency, sincerity, communication. Honesty opens the door to true freedom. Honesty is the currency of inner strength, and that is very true, because often we daren't be completely honest and say what we feel or think, because we are afraid that other people will not accept it, or that other people will criticize it, or that other people will judge it. And we fear that because we haven't got the inner strength. And then, yeah, that creates blocks in your throat chakra. So being honest, honesty is truly a currency of inner strength. Experience the power of sharing your truth. There is a lot of power in sharing your truth, but then again, you need the inner strength, right, to be able to do that. And it's indeed also about sincerity, being authentic. It's throat chakra is also about expressing who you are, speaking your truth, which doesn't have to be someone else's truth, but it's your truth. But then the risk is that you get judged or criticized or maybe even ridiculed because it's your truth, not necessarily theirs. Well, that's not really your problem. But then to still open up and speak your truth is sometimes still really difficult, especially when you feel insecure in a situation and the other person comes across as being really strong and confident, then we sort of feel ourselves crumble and oh my god, you know. Yeah, so it's a really important one to be able to do that, to be honest and open and truthful. But also transparency is also very important, especially when it comes to relationships and love relationships. Because if you are not honest and open and not transparent, you easily get miscommunication, and you don't really understand the other person. You don't really know what they need, what they want, what they require. They also will not know what's wrong. So it's far easier and healthier to be transparent and to speak up, to speak your truth, to be honest, especially in a love relationship. Right? Especially communication is so important. Honesty and communication in a love relationship. And I feel personally feel that many relationships go wrong because they lack in this area, in this arena. And it's not because they're dishonest, it's just because they are afraid to really open up. Most people are. It's really odd. Most people are afraid to be completely transparent, to reveal themselves and to speak their minds. And we also get raised that way, even by our parents. You get told as a little child, when you speak up, children are very open, they're very transparent, and they just say anything, everything, right? When they're still really very young. And then sometimes their parents get embarrassed by that, and then they tell the kid off for speaking their mind. But actually the kid was being truthful. And then he gets shit for it. Well, then he learns. Then he begins to learn to not speak his mind anymore, to not be open anymore, to not be truthful anymore. Because he learns real quickly, he gets told off. And we all been raised like that. I remember situations like that with that's why I'm laughing. I'm sorry, it's not about you or anything. I'm just remembering something, an event with my own son when he was about 2.5 years old, with a neighbor that we saw in the store, and we actually didn't get along with that neighbor too well. And my little boy, he made a comment, and I was so embarrassed. And then you tell the kid off, right? I did that too. It's just a stupid reaction. Because I also have been raised to not speak the truth, to be polite. You always have to be polite, keep up appearances. So I also have been raised that way. So that's why I also felt embarrassed. And then I told my son, like, shut up, you can't say that. And well, the kid was actually, he was being transparent, and he was truthful. He was honest, because what he said was right. Yet I gave him shit for that. So we all been raised like that. We all have these things. Even if you don't remember it anymore, we have had these things happen to us several times, not just once, but many times at school, teachers, and everyone is trying to teach us to get us in almost like a straitjacket to behave the way society needs us to behave, so other people feel comfortable, because that's basically what it is about. Everyone wants to feel comfortable, and it's also very difficult often for people to deal with honesty. When you speak your truth, it is difficult. We really have none of us, I think, have been raised with that, because we've all been raised to keep up appearances and have gotten shit when we don't do it as a child. That also made it difficult for us, that if someone is open and truthful and honest, to deal with that. We're not used to that. We really aren't used to that. Just think of it. If someone is actually being honest to you and says something that is true, but it makes you feel uncomfortable because you don't really like what you hear. Many of us have no clue how to deal with it. You typically, I think, most withdraw, or we get angry. We can also lash out, right? We can defend ourselves. We can do that and snap at the other person. So this is a very important thing. If you chose this, if you chose number 6, then this is probably a very important thing for you to work on, to learn in a relationship, to be honest, to be open, to be truthful, to speak your mind, to tell what you need, what you require from the other person. Also, when something doesn't sit well with you, then learn how to communicate that in a good way. And in a good way is not like being and you always do this and that and blah blah. That's blaming. That's not communicating. That's not honest. It's also not honest. That's blame. that will hurt the other person. Healthy communication, you can just say like, well, okay, you just did or said, no, that's also, by the way, not, because there's still blame. You can just say, it feels crappy to me that this happened, or I don't really like that this is going on, and how are we going to sort this out? You know, it's about expressing how you feel without blaming the other. It's about you, how you feel, and asking for the help, basically, to how you're going to sort that out. That is in a relationship, being able to do that is very important. Let's see what the book has got to say. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot today, but these cards seem to really trigger me. It's really the right deck for me. That is clear. Well, it is all about truth, being honest in your words and actions as well. When you can speak your truth without attachment to how others respond, then you are truly free to be yourself. And also, it also speaks of when you gossip or about other people, you actually lower your own vibration. You actually hurt yourself that way, because your real essence, the real you, your soul, is love. We all are. That goes for everyone. So if you talk bad about someone else, you actually are not in love anymore. So you also hurt yourself. You also lower your own vibration. So you must never do that. Doing that damages your own throat chakra. If you speak bad about other people, backlash, gossip, all that stuff, you know, just basically also avoid the tabloids. By acting outside of our integrity, we betray a part of ourselves, and in doing so, we move away from our soul's path. So yeah, well, I'm not going to read the whole thing that is there. I think I gave you enough information on what you can do to get this love. Be honest, be open, learn how to communicate, to express yourself in a healthy way without blaming anyone else. You know, be open, be more open. And also, this also means, and that also is part of the throat chakra, is that you should not speak someone else's truth. You know, don't get swayed. Don't get swayed. Stick to your own inner knowing, your own truth. So for some of you who chose this card, that can also be a very important thing, that you get, that you haven't got enough inner strength, basically, not enough confidence to stand by your own truth. There are people like that, right? That one person, they're talking to one person, and that person says, oh, that book is red. That book cover is red. And then they say, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is red. And then they talk to the next person about the same book. And that person says, yeah, I love that book cover. It's blue. And then you say, yeah, I like it too. It's blue. I love that. Wonderful blue. And then they talk to another person. That person says, oh, that book is wonderful. I love that yellow cover. And then you say, yes, that's great. I love it too. It's such a wonderful color, yellow, and it's warm. You know, that is a stupid example, but I hope you catch my drift. There's people like that who do that. Don't do that. If you are like that, don't. Stand by your own truth. Even if you daren't express it yet, then at least do not talk to, go along with someone else's truth and what they are saying. Then shut up and withdraw from the situation. If you daren't speak up just yet, that will come. Takes time. Baby steps is fine, but at least do yourself a favor, and because if you are following their truth and expressing that, you are damaging yourself. You're walking away from your own truth, your own inner knowing, your own path. That will actually create a fissure, an abyss, so to speak, within, a rupture, a split, and you mustn't do that. So if you daren't speak up yet in situations, if you still find that a bit too difficult, then at least don't, I'm searching for words here. Sometimes I get stuck when I'm channeling these messages. I'm sorry about that. But then at least do not start agreeing with what they're saying. You know, just don't do that. Then walk away or whatever. So that at least on the inside, you stand by your own truth. So that's what you have to work on. I hope that resonated with you. And gosh, it got lengthy. Please let me know, and because I read all feedback, everyone's comment. I do read them all. I also like them all. Sometimes I comment, reply as well. So, well, thank you for watching. I hope it resonated. If you feel drawn to my 5-day free challenge, the Forever Feminine, then please follow the link and read the information on my website. And if you really want to go for it, then sign up. It's starting on April 30th for 5 days, and it's free. It's completely online, so everyone can attend and follow it. And well, ladies only, right? Forever Feminine. So thank you everyone for watching, and see you again soon with another reading. Have a wonderful day. Bye.